Hakeem Olajuwon is one of the greatest shot blockers and overall players in NBA history. Achieving an incredible 3.1 blocks per game speaks for itself, and he stands above everybody else on career blocks throughout an entire career. His post-game was also amazing, and his dream shake mesmerized crowds and made him so great. However, today I would like to take a look and see how good Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon actually was. Hakeem Olajuwon played college basketball at the University of Houston, joining fellow NBA Hall of Famer Clyde Drexler, and as a freshman, he immediately showed his shot blocking ability with 2.5 blocks on average. By the time Hakeem Olajuwon's junior year rolled around, he had doubled his production, this time averaging around 17 points, 13 rebounds, and 5.6 blocks every night. Houston would make the NCAA National Championship 2 of his 3 years on the team. However, they would end up losing both times, and one was definitely worse than the other. Hakeem would declare for the 1984 NBA draft, a draft class that had talent like Charles Barkley, John Stockton, and the great Michael Jordan. However, standing at the first selection above everybody else was the number 34 himself. This would be the second straight year the Houston Rockets would pick a 7-foot-tall big man at number 1. Hakeem Olajuwon did not waste any time developing, becoming a 20-12 guy immediately. He also proved himself as an amazing shot blocker, being second in the league in block shots at 220. However, he would not win Rookie of the Year because it so happens that same year, Michael Jordan had the greatest rookie year of all time. Year 2 brought some really impressive stuff. He would improve in every aspect of his game and would lead the Houston Rockets to 51 wins. In the playoffs, Hakeem rose to the occasion, dropping 27 points on average with 3.5 blocks a night. The Rockets would make it all the way to the NBA Finals to play an MVP Larry Bird. In that series, he would average 25 and 12 with 3 blocks. However, the Rockets would go out in 6. Hakeem Olajuwon would unfortunately have a pretty rough time in the playoffs during the following years. Despite having some incredible performances in the NBA playoffs, they would not make it out of the second round until 1994. In fact, they would miss the playoffs as a whole in 1992. However, the 1994 playoffs were a lot different because Jordan was out playing baseball and the entire NBA was cracked wide open. The Chicago Bulls had lost in the second round for the first time since 1988, and Hakeem Olajuwon would play absolutely out of his mind, averaging 29 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks, and would lead his team all the way back to the NBA Finals, this time to play the New York Knicks, the team who actually beat the Bulls in the playoffs. This series was tight from beginning to end. Once the Rockets would get one, the Knicks would come and get one. In the series, Hakeem averaged 27 points with 4 blocks, and even hit a 3 in Game 5 apparently. Nevertheless, the Rockets would take home the NBA title, and Hakeem Olajuwon would add a Finals MVP to that trophy case, along with his 1994 Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. The next season, the 1994-95 year, played out very strangely. The Rockets would win 11 less games, and everyone was thinking that title could have been a fluke. However, the Houston Rockets would make the playoffs, and Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets would have a first-round matchup against the 60-win Utah Jazz, led by Karl Malone and John Stockton. Hakeem would leave everything out on the floor and would dominate from beginning to end, as the Houston Rockets would beat the Utah Jazz in 5 games. However, they had an equally tough foe in round 2, that being the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns would blow the Rockets out of the water in Game 1 and Game 2 by well over 20 points, and despite having a huge win in Game 3, it looked like all hope was lost as they would go down 3-1. However, Hakeem would not be denied. Averaging 30 points, he would lead the Rockets to 3 straight wins and would finish off the Suns. However, job's not finished because Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets would have to face an MVP David Robinson and the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals, and what Hakeem did in that 1995 Western Conference Finals is nothing short of unbelievable. He would score over 40 points 3 different times and would have 39 points in a series-deciding Game 6. And just like that, there was only one team standing between Hakeem and his second straight ring, that being the Orlando Magic, and this series would end up being over pretty quickly. In the 96 playoffs, the Houston Rockets would be swept out of the second round by the Seattle Supersonics. However, in 1996, in the offseason, they would go after an old guy to add to their 2 other old guys. They would make a push all the way to the Western Conference Finals, however would lose in 97 to the Utah Jazz. After that 1997 NBA playoff run, the Houston Rockets would make the playoffs just twice in the next 4 years. Hakeem was regressing heavily. He was getting a lot older, and the Houston Rockets were looking to get a little bit younger, leading to them trading him to the Raptors in 2001 for draft picks. Hakeem Olajuwon will go down in NBA history as one of the greatest centers, if not the greatest center of all time. He was the second most dominant player of the 90s and would end his Hall of Fame career with an MVP, 2 Defensive Player of the Years, and 2 NBA championships, 12 All-NBA selections, 9 All-Defensive selections, and to top it off, he would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2008. Thank you all for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment, subscribe, share. I made a video about Ron Artest, and it should be on the screen somewhere, so if you all want to check out more of my content, there's a good place to start. With that, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.